what's up guys? Coach Jesse Minshew with GetHandles.com. Got some more quick shot answers for you. I'm going to pick one or two of these that I'll probably just stop in the middle and say, hey look, I'm going to do a more in-depth, full video just for a couple of these questions because, maybe it'd be something that I haven't really hit on my channel before or just something that requires a longer answer. But for the most part, I'm going to make most of these quick. I'm going to try to get to as many of them as I can. I'm not going to necessarily get to every one of them either. First one is going to be from Ball and Ben. I want to know different footwork drills. Got stuff on that on my channel. Just once again, use the search function. I got a whole bunch of stuff on that. How do you go against tall defenders from Lorenz Trebucio? I've kind of covered this in a couple of videos, but the main thing is that you want to, make sure you're focusing on using your quickness to your advantage. Generally, a player that's taller isn't as quick as a player that's short, generally speaking. So you want to use that to your advantage, making sure you're using quick movements to get past them, get around them, not always trying to shoot over them. And, if you're going to take a shot on a taller player, use your hook shots or a floater, shots that are real quick and real high arcing are going to be more difficult for them to block. King Sam says, do you go for the Bucks because Jason Kidd is your brother? I've heard a lot of people throughout the years say I look like Jason Kidd. No, it's not because he's my brother. It's because I'm from Wisconsin and Bucks are my home state team. So, One Mo Gain 23 says, I want to know if the NBA players dribble like how everyone says to dribble with their fingers, because it looks to me like they dribble with their whole hand, including their palm. Could you explain to me what you think is best and which is best for a tight handle? The ball feels sloppy in my hand. Ha ha. Well, I actually go full in depth on this as far as drills to improve your grip on the basketball, the way your hand should be, gripping the basketball, what parts of your hand should be touching it, etc. In my Ball on a String program, I'll have a link for it right up in the top right-hand corner of the screen here. But and I also have another video which I'll link to here, which I have on YouTube, which kind of talks about that myth. It's a basketball myth that it's been taught for years. They say don't touch the basketball with your palm. That's a terrible thing to do. You're gonna lose the ball. Blah blah blah. No, you won't. The reason a lot of coaches, I think, have taught this throughout the years is because a lot of players were probably, when learning, they were slapping the ball with the palm of their hand. You want to control the basketball with your fingertips, absolutely. But if your palm's touching, it's not going to be make or break for your handles. I 100% agree. A lot of ball handlers in the NBA do touch the basketball with the palm of their hand. I wouldn't worry about that at all. I wouldn't worry about it if it is or if it isn't touching the basketball. What I would worry about is making sure you get your fingertips on the basketball and that those are what are controlling the ball. If anything else touches it, who cares? Let's see. Dan Far7 says, hey Jesse, do you know any ball handling drills without dribbling? Yeah, I kind of covered it in my last basketball answers video, the one you actually left the comment in. So I have some stuff in there as far as improving your handles without even using a basketball. And you can always use ball wraps, stuff like that once again. Aaron Jera says, hey coach, it's me again. Thank you so much for the answer to my question. Got another one for you. This time it's about playing with different players. I play 2 different teams with multiple different players and with different playing styles. My favorite big guy to play with. Okay, this is an enormous question. I'm going to come back to this in a full basketball answers question because this is a big question. It's going to take me about 5 minutes just to read the question. So I'll hit that one in a future basketball answers video. Heat Ledger says, I went from a good point guard to a very mediocre at best point guard. Admittedly, I started playing a lot less and only play rec ball now. I'm 26. I have a ton of stuff I need to work on, but my biggest issue is my shooting confidence and IQ. After missing 1 to 2 shots, I'm completely done for the rest of the game. Mentally second-guessing myself and my form goes out the window. In reference to that, I find that I'm always forcing the pass for highlight reel pass. I need help reading the floor and finding the open man. Okay, so it sounds like you just need to calm down and not take it so serious. Number one, if you're 26 and you're just playing rec ball for fun, why are you taking it so seriously, right? Like, I'm not saying don't take your practice seriously and don't try hard, but I'm saying, like, mentally approach the game with a relaxed, confident sort of vibe to your, the way you're going to approach things, and not put so much pressure on every little detail that you're doing. Just kind of go with the flow and not try to overthink things too much. Just kind of, like I said, go with the flow, relax, and don't get in your own head too much, worrying about too many details. In your practice, I would focus more on those details and get your repetitions in and whatnot. And in the game, just let the game come. Do what's easy. Make the easy pass. Don't make the highlight reel pass. Just don't be worried about trying to get people to look at you and say oh, did you see what he did? Just go with the flow in the game and just try to play with what comes naturally, make the easy play, and the highlight reel plays will come here and there as far as the passes goes. And as far as shooting and second guessing yourself, again, just take the shot. Don't think about it. Just focus on the rim and don't worry too much about what your arms are doing, what your body's doing and all that. Unless you know for sure that you're consistently missing short or long or left or right, then you might want to look at some of the details that you're maybe doing wrong. But other than that, just go with the flow and don't worry about it too much of the details. That's something that I would focus on more in the practice and getting repetitions in and making sure you're doing everything right. And then when game time comes, just go with it, man. White hair demon ghoul thing coming back with another question. He says, if someone lives in Australia, would it be harder to get into the NBA, and how would they get drafted in the NBA or at least sign a contract with an NBA team? Nowadays with the internet, you can get your name out there a lot more easily. There's a lot of players from Australia making that jump to the NBA now. But you have to achieve something in order to get that kind of attention. So, whether you go straight to the NBA from high school or college or whatever the case may be, you're going to have to get that attention to get on that path to getting to the NBA. So, with YouTube and all that now, players are getting more noticed and just, stats are more readily available through websites and whatnot, but you have to achieve something in your high school level to get noticed by a college. A good way to make that transition would be playing so well in college or high school that you end up going pro in Australia, or maybe you play so well in high school that you end up playing college in the United States somewhere, and that could help you get noticed. And then you have to get noticed at that next level. So take it step by step, but it all starts with you producing on the court. Next question comes from Lee Sofan. He says, do you train people and teachers how to play basketball? Can I know the location? Yes, I do train players. I do stuff all over, but generally I do a lot of my training with players in the summer, a lot of one-on-one and some camps and whatnot. Some of the camps I travel for, but a lot of players come to me in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, or occasionally I will travel to them to work with them. But yeah, I'm in Wisconsin if you're looking to train with me. Very, very limited spots available as far as for this summer if you're looking to train with me. So if you are interested, you're going to have to get a hold of me at snakebasketball@gmail.com about that. And again, there's quite a bit of expenses that go for it. So before you even think about emailing me, make sure you can cover, travel expenses, hotel, all that sort of thing. And then, the lessons as well. So, but I can definitely work with some players. But like I said, I've only got a few spots open. So only if you're able to afford it, get a hold of me, because I'm sure I'll have a lot of people emailing me saying, hey, can I come train with you? And they can't even afford to get out here. So, just a little FYI before you go ahead and do that. Next one, Austin Aiken says it's going to be hard for him to be a starter because probably half of Twitter and text posts will be misspelled. He's talking about that comment from this last video, but I said, do you think Giannis is going to be a starter next year? And yeah, a lot of people probably will misspell his name. Hopefully they already have it pre-spelled out and you just click a box though. Let's see here. Tenzin Rinchin says, I am a good shooter, but I can't lay up or good at handles. Again, use the search function on my channel. I got a ton of stuff for you, man. Jeffrey, Second Dodger, Jimmy, Mr. Pig says, could you give me some drills or advice about my shots rotation and follow through because it's broken? I can't because I don't know what your shot looks like. What I can tell you is how it should look like. And I covered this in a couple last videos that I've done, but basically, you want to make sure that the ball is rotating with the flick of the wrist. That should make the ball rotate exactly straight backwards. Once you release it like this, it should roll like that basically. Key to that is making sure you drop that guide hand off before you release. A lot of players, when they do that, they tend to get a thumb flick, and that might make the rotation go off. So again, a tip I like to give is to try to tap your wrist or your elbow and make sure you're curling your hand in on that, or pointing your fingers straight forward, one of those two. That'll help prevent that thumb flick, because a lot of players, when they try to get that hand off, by doing it, they often do it like that, and then next thing you know, they push that shot to the side. So that's what your release and rotation should look like. And keep that arm up high. Make sure that elbow is at least at your eye level or higher. Great question here from Tamzy. He says, Coach, I got a question. When you are shooting, where on the hoop do you aim for? Very great question. And a lot of players, just aim. They don't even think about it. They're just like, oh, here's the rim, I'm going to shoot at it. Think about, instead of either front of the rim or the back of the rim, I prefer to shoot aiming for the back of the rim. So, when you see the rim here, if this is the rim and you're facing, you're facing the rim here, I prefer to aim for the back. So this would be the back of the rim, and don't just aim for the back of the rim. Pick a link, I always say. Basically, all those little links around the rim where the net hooks on, I like to pick a link right in the middle from where my line of sight is. So you would pick a link right here. if you move to another angle, you know, over here, then the middle of the link would be right here, okay? So you pick the link in the middle of the back or the front of the rim, whatever is more comfortable and seems to work better for you. I would generally say the back of the rim. That way, if you miss long, you still have a chance of getting that roll off the backboard or the ball bouncing around and going in. But pick a link in the middle. So if you miss that tiny target, that link, you still can hit the big target of the hoop. That's, you know, a great way to improve your shooting percentage, like instantly, basically, is to aim for that tiny target. Instead of aiming for the rim, if you miss the rim, you're probably going to miss the shot. If you miss this tiny target in the middle of the rim, now there's a good chance you're going to make the shot. Cade Bingham says, hey Jesse, I'm 12 and 4'9". How can I get my shot off quicker without messing up form? Can you post more combos? They work great on defenders. More combos coming. As far as, you know, getting your shot off quicker, basically it's just a matter of making sure there's a couple things that are overlooked. If you're catching the ball from a pass, making sure you're already here, like so when the ball comes, your hands are already ready, your feet ready, and you can just rise straight up for the shot versus catching it and then setting up and then shooting. That's one tip. Not off of the catch. Another tip I can give you is just focusing on when you're dribbling, getting those feet set quick. The quicker you get those feet down and on good balance and point it to where, you know, you want them, like generally I say don't point your feet straight towards the rim, have them a slight tilt away for that shot. But you want to get them down into that position as quick as possible off the dribble. The quicker you can do that, the quicker you can go up in your shot. That's where your shot starts. It starts with your feet and getting everything locked into this position here. So the quicker you get those feet down and everything in this position, the quicker you can get your shot off. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, as far as the release, again, focusing on having more of a one-motion shot. Everything going straight up with that shot. You don't want to have any pause in between here. You don't want to bring the ball back behind here. That's going to slow down your shot. Everything straight up. Boom, one motion, quick, and focus on that wrist snap. That's one thing I noticed Curry does really well is he gets that wrist snap real quick, and that's part of the reason he's able to get his shot off so quickly. All right, next question is from Palab Anil. He says, hey Jesse, I'm very interested in buying your programs, particularly Speed Handles 2 and Ball on a String, but my father says I can only get one program, so which do you think would benefit me more? Really depends on what you're trying to improve on. If you're looking more for, you know, obviously speed and explosiveness and strength with the basketball while dribbling and working on some of that first step speed, go Speed Handles 2. If you're looking to go more as far as, you know, getting just better ball control, you know, and just getting your base and your foundation down, go with Ball on a String. And that'll also help you develop a lot of your moves. Again, link here for Speed Handles 2, link here for Ball on a String. You can check out more about them there, but yeah, I mean, it really comes down to, you know, what area you need to improve on. I can't really say this is better than the other. Well, I can say for sure the Speed Handles is going to cover, Speed Handles 2 is going to cover a lot more than Ball on a String 1 does, because Speed Handles 2 is just a bigger program with a lot more content in it and more workouts in it and more drills in it, so you're going to hit on more things. But because of that, it's also, you know, a little bit more expensive program, so, you know, maybe your budget could come into play there as well. But definitely, I would say, you know, overall, Speed Handles 2 is going to be the better option as far as what you all get out of it. But again, you also have to consider, you know, what you need to improve on. If you need to really work on your ball control, I would hit up the Ball on the String program. But if you're looking to improve more on your speed and your explosiveness and your power and strength, you know, and kind of go more next level with your ball handling, then Speed Handles 2 is the way to go. Zach Partington says, what's a good workout schedule, exercises, and drills included, please? That's what my programs are for. That's a ton of stuff for me to try to cover in a YouTube video. It would be a ridiculously long video. Again, click this link here. I got a free workout for you there if you want to get a free workout and kind of get a feel for that. And then I also have my full training programs that you can check out that can help you as well. Once you go there, I'll give you some options as far as that goes. Michael Gabriel says, hello coach, I would just like regarding to man-to-man defense and the zone-to-zone defense, because I seem to be poor at zone defense. Like, I feel that I can't guard anybody with the zone, but well, I'm known to be a great man-to-man defender, but as someone with zone defense in play, defenders really seem to score easily. So with zone defense, that's a good question. It's an interesting question that I haven't got. With zone defense, it's not like you're going to necessarily be guys stopping it, because it's a team effort, right? So the main thing you want to focus on is making sure you're making those rotations quickly as the ball swings around the perimeter, you know, or if someone drives in, you're collapsing in right away to cut that off. And it's a team effort, but it relies on everyone being very quick with reacting to where the ball is moving and who's, you know, trying to drive into the lane and whatnot. But you're not going to get quite as many steals and whatnot unless you're kind of deflecting passes, generally speaking, or you're getting someone in that trap. So one thing you could try to do, as far as if you're trying to get a few more steals, is maybe try to act like you're not paying attention for a pass, you know, not getting in that lane of where one guy's going to pass to another, and then quick, you know, go from act like you're not really paying much attention or you're not ready, and then quick getting that hand out and knocking the pass away. And then, you know, if someone's trying to drive in, again, that trap defense trying to get a hand in there to poke the ball away. But you're not going to generally get quite as many, you know, man-to-man type, I'm going to break this guy down and steal the ball and block it shot or any of that kind of stuff that comes with man-to-man defense when you're in a zone, because it's just not set up to be done that way. It's supposed to be a team effort. Raya Scremery says, drill to make you dribble fast until you limit. Got a lot of stuff on that on YouTube. Again, speed handles also will help you with that quite a bit. Actually, more than quite a bit. It'll help you immensely. It'll probably get you faster than pretty much anything else you can do. How tall is Coach Jesse? I'm not even going to say this guy's name because it's a bunch of letters and numbers. I am 5'11", 6 foot, somewhere in there. How to stop shooting from your hip, says Tuan. Basically, just practice, you know. Practice on, and there's nothing wrong with, again, starting your shot around your hip isn't a bad thing. But shooting from your hip and pushing the ball like that is not what you want to do. You want to bring it straight, kind of up the body here. Notice how it kind of swings up, and from there, you know, it moves forward at the end. You don't want to come from the hip and push it forward like that. But starting from here isn't a bad thing. That's how you actually get a lot of power. Watch Steph Curry. A lot of times, you know, he comes from his dribbles. Obviously, from a dribble, you pick the ball up usually down right around here, so you're starting around the hip. From a pass, same thing. You're going to start from around the hip, and from there, you bring it up. So nothing wrong with shooting, quote-unquote, from the hip, as long as you're not just pushing it straight out from the hip and chucking it like that. You still want to make sure you're swinging that arm up. And that's just a matter of repetition and making sure you're focusing on that. One thing you can pay attention to is the path of your elbow. If your elbow comes like this, forward, that's an issue. If your elbow comes up, and then you snap a little bit more forward, you know, notice how it comes up, 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 forward, then you're going to have a better shot arc and all that good stuff. Coming straight forward or more 45-degree angle, that's a problem. That's shooting from the hip that you don't want. Any tips on growing taller, says GoRad. No. You know, I've seen pills and whatever else out there saying that they can help you grow taller, and maybe they could help you grow half an inch, an inch. I really don't know. I haven't messed around with any of it to know for sure what it would do. I kind of am skeptical that it would. But the one thing I can tell you is you might want to look into working on your posture, maybe even some yoga type stuff. While it won't necessarily technically make you taller, by improving your posture, it'll help you stand more upright, right? If you have any issues with your posture, notice how I get shorter, right? Standing upright alone allows you to get taller, helps you with, you know, not just with being taller and getting shots up over people, but all your movements are more powerful and whatnot. So working on your posture can kind of help you with that to some degree. And, you know, if you have hunched shoulders and stuff like this, when you try to shoot, you're losing an inch or two just because you're like this, right? So if you can get more relaxed, more upright, and work on your posture, big thing for that is working on exercises to strengthen the back, and exercises or stretches, I should say, to stretch the front. And then just like I said, some yoga type stuff where you're working on balance and whatnot will help you learn to stay more upright. A lot of what they try to teach you is basically, imagine there's a string attached to the top of your head, pulling your head up. And from there, if you imagine that happening and doing that, actively pulling up from the head, that's going to allow you to stand up more tall. Pretty simple way to practice that. And then last question I'm going to hit for today. So if I didn't get your question answered, make sure you leave a comment in this video, and I'll try to get it answered. If I didn't get it in this last one, I'm just going to try to get as many as I can do. From Anthony Blenko, he says, "Hey Jesse, I need help on my defense. I'm forced to guard tight because the people in my league are laser from three-point range, and I always get caught on my heels when they end up blowing by me." So what I would recommend doing is, yeah, you have to play tight, right? But if your guy's here and you want to try to, you don't have to necessarily worry too much about trying to block their shot, because a lot of players, just by getting your hand in their face, is going to be enough to stop them. Now, if you try that for a couple times on a player and that doesn't work, now, yeah, you might need to come up tighter on them. But I would say stay about an arm's distance away from their hips. If this is balls their hips, I would stay about where you can just barely touch that, and stay on your toes, get your feet wide, and be ready to, get your hand in their face and contest the shot that way, not necessarily trying to block it. Now, you don't want them to blow by you either, so again, staying wide, low, and on your toes will help you get ready to move back. Because if you're on your heels, now you're going to either stumble back or have a hard time. Or what I like to do personally is to stay more just kind of on the middle of my foot, so my whole foot is on the ground, but more of the weight on the balls of my feet. That's what I would generally recommend. But find out what's, play around with it. See what's more comfortable with you, what allows you to move more quickly and react more quickly. Because what's going to happen is, if you're on your heels, you're going to have a hard time if they give you a fake back, coming back and then back forward. And if they're on, going for the shot, if you're on your heels, you could probably still jump forward pretty easily. But again, you have that problem with them blowing by you. So you want to kind of make sure that you're either on your toes or all of your foot is on the ground, but more of your weight is distributed a little bit more towards the front of your feet. So that allows you to still move back and forward more quickly. One little tip that'll help you with that quite a bit. So once again, guys, thanks for checking out this video. Hopefully I got your answer, answered for you, or if maybe you didn't leave a comment down below, these are some questions that you wanted some advice on. Hopefully it helped you out. Again, leave a comment down below though if you got any other questions. This is where I'm going to leave the go through the list basically to do answers for the next quick shot, or even some more in-depth questions that you guys want answered. So leave a comment down below if you got any questions that you want answered. And again, to all the people I wasn't able to get to, leave a comment in this video, and hopefully I'll be able to get to it this next one. Like I said, I'm trying to get as many as I can. It's just tough to get all of them and make the videos a reasonable length that people are actually going to watch the whole thing and see their question answered. If this video helped you, make sure you hit that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button. That's the best way to catch these newest basketball answers, tips, tutorials, drills, all that good stuff. Also, keep an eye out for the more in-depth, long answers for some of these that I didn't get answered coming soon. And if you haven't yet, head over to gethandles.com. Just click this link right here. Pop in your email. I'll send that to you for free workout. That's going to help you take your ball handling to the next level. It's already helped thousands of players. It's just a 10-minute workout. It's probably going to help you a ton too. And not just with your ball handling, it's going to help you with your athleticism, footwork, speed, range of motion, athleticism, you name it. It's going to help you with a whole bunch of different things. Put it in before your workouts or a game, and you're going to notice a huge difference. So if you got a game coming up and you want to get that extra boost for it, give this workout a try. It's going to help you quite a bit. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. Let's stay on our grind.